Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grow With Us. My name is Evan Barton, and I'm your host who helps create conversations with the movers and shakers of a growing tech center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Grow With Us is a podcast that highlights the work of In Tulsa and informs you about the exciting and innovative work being done around the city by its best and brightest. In Tulsa's mission is to connect talented individuals and companies to stimulate economic growth in Tulsa and to create more prosperous communities across the region. Each episode, Grow With Us discusses the growth of opportunities, the growth of communities striving for change, or the tech and innovation that is changing the landscape of Tulsa. On this episode of Grow With Us, we are in conversation with Sloan, the founder of the Engine Room Boxing Gym and an exciting virtual reality platform that he's been working on. We're super excited to talk about in this episode. Aaron, it's great to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. After that intro, I don't know if I'm qualified.
No. No. Everyone has a role in this, and that's kind of the cool thing that I'm at least gonna, maybe I'll enlighten you on some things that ways you play in the ecosystem.
Yeah. No, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's gonna get started and just get a little quick introduction on who you are. Kind of tell me your story in whatever way you feel comfortable.
Well, I'm the owner of the Engine Room Boxing Gym, as you said. So I've been involved with amateur boxing. Most of my life. I boxed when I was younger. All amateur boxing, Golden Glove, AAU, USA Boxing, and then did that till I was 23 or 24. I never really had a goal of trying to become a professional fighter or anything like that. So gave that up. Work got in the way, and then fast forward, a decade, and I decided I'd like to get back involved. So I started back coaching. I was working at the hospital full time as a registered nurse. And so when you're working those 12-hour shift, you have some days that you want to kind of burn some time. So
or punch a wall.
or punch a wall. So I got like a little spot in Owasso, actually. So we started in Owasso in 2009. It's basically a storage building, and hung a few bags in there and started training kids after school. And it kind of grew and expanded from there. More of a hobby then, but we started getting boxers that were nationally ranked and traveling a lot with them. And I started liking doing that more than I liked, working at the hospital. So yeah. I started trying to figure out a way to do this full time. And, and Owasso was a great community, but it was a lot of evening business. And so it was a feeder community to Tulsa. So decided to come here and open up where there was some daytime business, and kind of just worked my way out of the nursing scene. As the gym got busier, I started cutting days at the hospital, and then gave it up and started doing this full time.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you went from a RN to a full-time business owner. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of scary at the time, but I think it was the right decision.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I used to live in an apartment like right down the road from you guys. So you guys were my neighbors. I'd go on walk on that little roundabout over there and I'd be like, what's going on in the boxing gym?
Is that when we were over on 6th Street, I guess?
It was actually right by 12th and Elgin is where I used to live. But is that right over there by the liquor store, Modern Spirits?
Well, we're still over there across the street from Home Depot now. Yeah, we purchased a building there in Gunboat Park, I guess.
Gunboat Park. Love that place.
I don't remember what day it is today, but the 6th of July was actually our 2-year anniversary.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so kind of tell me about what your relationship with Tulsa has been like over the year. Kind of how's it grown or changed for you?
It's been great for me. I went to school and grew up in Sapulpa, which was outside of Tulsa, and I used to do industrial supply sales. And so I had a few customers that were downtown, and there was nothing here then. I mean, it was just a lot of boarded up buildings, and so it's been exciting to see that. See that grow and mature, and it's been very good to me. Boxing's been very good to me, and Tulsa, I just I can't speak highly enough of it. I always try to encourage people to come here, to visit here, to move here, because I tell everybody it has everything that a big town should have, but it's a lot easier to get around in. So
my number one thing with Tulsa is like the navigability, and whoever city planned this, I have to give them props, because when I moved here, I had like learned this acronym. I think I've said this on the podcast before, so forgive me if anyone's heard this before, but There's golly, Miss Molly, shave your hairy legs, please, is like how you learn all of the main intersections.
Yeah.
So Garnett, Mingo Memorial, Sheridan, the list, the whole acronym or whatever. I was 9 when I learned that, and I've never forgot it.
Yeah, it's easy. It's a very drivable city. It's becoming more and more walkable and pedestrian friendly. And I mean, there's just so much growth going on downtown. It's exciting to see residents starting to get, downtown as well, because it's just going to help all of the businesses do better, restaurants and things like that.
Yeah,
So
that's true. I bet you've seen kind of some uptick from kind of there's not really a migration, but really just an influx of people getting to live downtown due to recent developments and things like that. So that's awesome.
yeah, it's grown a lot just since we were located the gym here. I guess 7 years ago now. I think when the gyms have been in Tulsa. So we've got the it was already kind of booming then, but we've got to grow a lot with the city, and I was excited to get something purchased downtown that you know w- where I could get locked in and not have to be contend with raising rent costs and things like that as a business.
Yeah. No, that's
But yeah, it's
awesome.
been great.
That's really good to hear. And kind of tell us a little bit more about like, um, or go ahead and tell us a little bit more about the engine room and what you guys do there. I know it's a boxing gym, but like, what's your sales pitch?
Well, train like a fighter, but you don't have to get hit. So,
Mhm.
95% of our business is people that want to come in and do fitness boxing classes. So, it's a great, fun way to work out. We take everybody serious. We train you like you're going to fight. Like I said, other than getting punched, unless you choose that's the
Yeah.
route you want to go. But I mean, a very small percentage of our business. We have a full scale fight team, of course. A lot of open class fighters. We have I think 3 nationally ranked boxers in the gym now, and we spend a lot of time with competition. We host a lot of shows here. I'm involved with the state, so I'm president of our USA Boxing and president of Kansas Oklahoma Golden Gloves. So
Oh, wow.
I
That's
try to support
awesome.
those 2 found organizations, and we're hosting National Golden Gloves again here. We did it last year, and we're doing it again this year. So
Wow. Where's that going to be hosted
at
at?
the Cox Convention Center, it's
Okay.
August 15th through the 20th.
Awesome.
So it was a decent size uh, boost. I think for Tulsa, they were excited to get it. The sports commission was great working with Joel Coster here, and he helped partner with us to bring that event here, and we're hoping to do more and more of those in the future. So we have a great community in there. It's all walks of life, all social, economic, and uh, backgrounds. All different ethnic backgrounds, and it's kind of great to see in a boxing gym how that kind of gets all melted together and
Yeah.
everybody has a great time, and like I said, it's a community that I'm proud of. So that's one of the biggest things is when people come in, I'm excited to not show off the business that's been built, but to show off the people that's inside the business because that's what makes the gym. That's what makes a team. It's the people. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you're located at or what building it's in. If you have a good community of people, it'll make a good thriving business, and that's always kind of been my philosophy, make friends first and then your friends always do business with you. So
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a great piece of advice, honestly. And in all honesty, community building is really difficult sometimes. I think these past couple of years with the pandemic and everything, people are desperate for community. And so having kind of those cornerstones of, healthy communities or fitness communities or, kind of anything that can kind of bring people together, that's really going to change the way people interact with each other and also just get people together or more organically. And that's such a good thing to do.
yeah, we opened we started construction on the gym right when the pandemic started. So you're like, oh no, I'm trying to expand a gym business in the middle of this, but it actually worked out great for us. We had expanded into a lot. We have 15,000 square feet, so we were able to spread people out. And then, boxing was kind of made everybody feel a little bit safer because everybody puts gloves on their hands, so
Yep.
nobody's touching anything. And so we had a lot of barrier protection. And then, with my nursing background, I think people just naturally felt a little safer coming to the gym. We didn't have any episodes or anything that was
That's good.
significant through there, and it worked out. It worked out really, really, really good for us actually. And from a business standpoint, I always look at anytime there's a downturn or anything like that, I try to look at, well, that's an opportunity to find some areas that you can flourish in that may not have normally been there. So
Yeah. No, that's really great. And kind of talking more about this, about what you're doing at the engine room. I was looking on your website and I found one of kind of your volunteer efforts or really just the way that your organization gives back and works with the community with the Ready to Fight program. Do you mind telling me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we started that Ready to Fight. It's a Parkinson's specific boxing program. Um, People that don't know much about Parkinson's and boxing, it's exercise has been proven for years to slow down the progression of Parkinson's disease, and boxing's kind of become the gold standard in that because of the hand and eye coordination, the timing, the balance issues that it really assists with. So we train those guys just like they're any other fighter,
Yeah.
and condition them. Saying we put some Parkinson specific stretches and warm ups and cool downs and things like that. But the rest of the workout they're doing just like any of our fighters would be. We started that program, I guess, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, just in house. And I started with one person that came to me, Bobby Moore, came to as a personal training. His doctor actually sent him to me, and he had made such improvement over the first few months that his physical therapist reached out to Matt Morton at the Parkinson's Foundation of Oklahoma and told him to get with me to get some classes going. So that's how we kind of got started, and then it was it just kept growing and growing. And when I compared it to a lot of other programs that was out there, the boxing had really been cut down, and that's one of the things that I saw in the gym I thought was really beneficial was to do the things like the speed bag and double end bag and mitt work. And so we decided to create our own um, educational platform. So we started certifying other gyms to teach what we're teaching, same methods, same principles. We did a online training program. Then we partnered with USA Boxing, so we're the official program nationally for USA Boxing now.
Wow, that's
We had
awesome.
just started to get that program off the ground and expanding across the country as a through a licensee program, and COVID hit.
Yeah.
So now we're revisiting that, and we've got an affiliate in Oklahoma City and one in California, and we're hoping to continue to grow those as we move forward.
Yeah, that sounds like a really awesome program and kind of way to more nationally get involved and get your name out there, but two, get people the help that they need and kind of fitness and health and all of those things are super important to me personally too. So like I love that you're kind of making this a more accessible form of almost therapy for people too.
Well, boxing is just it's a low impact workout, and if it's done correctly, there's no age limit or no to me no limitation on anybody that should be getting in the gym and doing it as a modality of you know getting in shape and obtaining their exercise and fitness. So um, I'm a true believer in it. Of course, I wouldn't be doing it, but the results have been pretty phenomenal with it. So I'm proud of the way the programs went and the retention that we've had. Bobby's still there; he looks great. So it's been 7 or 8 years. So we've had a lot of success with people that get started early after diagnosis. So
That's so cool. How does the online program work? Is it kind of like some videos that you guys have created in house or?
yeah, we created the videos in house. It's just a system I set up on Kajabi actually,
Okay.
and went through PowerPoint presentations and uploaded videos and how tos and
See,
hopefully.
there's the tech. I knew
Yeah.
I'd get it. I knew
Well,
I'd get you to it.
hopefully it'll get more sophisticated and better over time, and I'll have some more qualified people to come in and do that. But right now, it gets the message across. It allowed us to reach a lot of people with the right information, and it's kind of easier from my end. The other national program, there's a couple other national programs that's out there, and they focused a lot on hitting like YMCA's and personal trainers and stuff, and it's a little harder to teach. It takes longer and it's harder to teach boxing than it is to teach the parameters of what Parkinson's people can do in the disease process. So with me expanding and having an opportunity to expand into boxing gyms, those guys already have all of the boxing down. I just have to come in and teach them about the disease process and what kind of
Yeah.
client base they're going to be dealing with, and so it makes my job a lot easier. And the core of it, the 70% of it is that's important is the boxing, and most of these guys have been doing that for years.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad to have learning about that and everything. So, kind of this is a little birdie told me in the form of I think your stepson that you've been working on some virtual reality boxing experiences. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I've created a um, game development company, Engine Room VR. We're actually going to build more products than games, but what got me into opening that business was a gaming platform. So I've been following, virtual reality just kind of as an enthusiast for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was watching with the interest of being able to expand into, at home training. So, if you're a Peloton or you're doing something on a treadmill, it's pretty easy. Everybody has those in their house or they're
Yeah.
willing to put them in. But a heavy bag or a speed bag, nobody wants that kind of equipment in their living room. And so I was like, if it gets to the point where we can do this with a virtual heavy bag and a virtual speed bag and that kind of equipment, then maybe I can expand my customer base without having to expand brick and mortar buildings. And so
Yeah.
that's why I started watching the space. And then when the technology kept coming along and it went wireless, then I started thinking, well, I could do this as an esport. And so the natural place to start would be to create the boxing game. And there was a couple other ones out there that I played. One of them was really good with the graphics and the playability was not great, and the other one was not good with graphics and the playability was okay. And
Yeah.
so I thought, I have time to get into this, and where I don't have a strong tech background, I do have the strong boxing background, and so we're creating a Golden Glove titled game. So it's Golden Glove VR. I licensed the rights to that name to use. And so we're in production. We'll probably release the title on the Oculus Quest 2 headset, hopefully in November or December
Wow, that's
for the
awesome.
holidays. Has a fully functioning gym. All of the bags work with the proper physics: speed bag, double M bag, heavy bag. We're adding the career mode, and we're hoping to rank players through the career mode. And then we're going to invite them to National Golden Gloves at our live tournaments every year and have a National Golden Glove tournament. So those players will show up live. We'll have them play against each other. We'll broadcast it onto like a Jumbotron. And then I'm going to have our live Golden Glove judges judge the in game play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so if somebody wins that, they'll be a National Golden Glove champion. We'll record them in the history books. They'll receive a title belt. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. And then throughout the year, we'll probably do some smaller tournaments at some of the USA boxing events. And we're working on 2-player mode and having a way to just do like, fun tournaments that are online throughout the year.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I have a million questions. Well, my first question is, what are your thoughts on Wii Sports boxing?
I like anything that's I was not a big gamer, so I haven't played any games since Super Mario Brothers on the NES. So, I went and bought one of those, and I bought Mike Tyson's Punch Out again, and I started playing it. And then I got like a Nintendo Switch,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a fitness boxing game on there that you use the controllers with.
Yeah.
And so I didn't play the Wii boxing, but I played the Nintendo Switch boxing. The game's like it's you're punching spears and these balls and stuff that come at you, but it was fun. It's a fun game and it gets people
Yeah.
interested in the sport. So I'm a boxing purist for sure, but I'm not a guy that's shuts my mind down to anything that brings attention to the sport and anything that gets people moving. So,
Yeah.
I liked all those games, and I tried to go through and play as many of them as I could, and I'm not any good at any of them, of course. But so it'll be fun to see how the real boxers actually stack up with some of the people that just play games all the time. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's so cool. I mean, there is like Wii Sports is probably really my only boxing experience that I have, and like the reason I bring it up is just because, I mean, in a lot of ways, the Switch does this too of like simulating the two-handed experience,
Mhm.
but like, and for like back in this came out, it was a launch title with the Wii, so like in 2007. I was 10 years old, literally like ducking and boxing and doing right hooks and like dodging these like super attacks or whatever and that you basically do 1v1 in
He's
that.
shadow boxing in here in the studio right now.
Exactly. But that's like, I don't know. It's so interesting that was really like my first experience with the sport.
Sure.
Like I don't even know. It's not virtual reality because there wasn't anything covering my eyes or really like anything that's like as
Yeah, but it got you engaged, right?
it got
I
me
mean,
engaged,
so-
and it was like it was the handset without the headset, I guess, is
Yeah.
really what it was. And that was, like I said, almost 14 years ago, which is wild to think like now we're in this space to where we're really simulating an entire environment. So with the game, here's kind of my other questions. What are you simulating as part of the experience? Like you said, the bag and the equipment, or is there going to be or are you fighting against someone? Or
You're fighting against somebody, so
Okay.
it's right now we're the first iteration. We're trying to just release a single player game. There's some 2-player capabilities out there. It's not great. We don't want to release unless it's great. So Um, and then, there's been some struggles with some of the two-player VR games because the space is still growing. There's not
Yeah.
as many people in there. And so you don't want to go log in and try to play a two-player game and there's nobody in there to play with you. We
Yeah.
have some advantage over that I think we'll have because we can structure and organize tournaments that we help populate. So from that experience, I think we'll have a controlled experience with that at first when we roll it out, and then
Hmm.
as more and more players get in there, I'll feel more comfortable probably opening that up and letting people make matches. But if you go in and you can't make a match, you can't have the fun, right? So,
Yeah.
but the game will have a full career mode. We'll have a female and male track. You'll be able to pick um, which way you want to go through. I'm excited to offer a track that has a female player system. There's not a lot of women in tech,
Yeah.
and it's growing with the boxing. So, um, in I think in 2016 they still didn't have female boxing in National Golden Glove. So,
Wow.
I'm excited to have that in there. And at the end of the day, it doesn't make that much difference because it's all gaming anyway. So
Yeah.
you could choose to play whichever one you wanted, but aesthetically, I'm excited about it. And then as you advance through the career mode, you will be ranked, and then based on those ranking systems, we'll start picking players out that we can extend nationally.
Mm.
Now, um, we're hoping to get it a little more sophisticated to where we can have like a website connected, and if you play through, it'll kick out codes, and you could take those to the website and get like how-to videos and nutrition plans and things like that you would
Ah,
get like
that's
continuing education credit or bonus credits for. So that's kind of the big plan of it. But right now we're looking at launching a pretty good game. The
yeah.
playability is working well right now. You can go inside the gym and work out and train, and then I'm hoping to pull that gym experience out and link it to where we can host classes inside that virtual gym, just like we would host classes at our brick and mortar gym. So
Yeah.
we would have a coach log in, he would be an avatar in the game, and then players would log in and we would run boxing classes inside of the facility. So
This sounds so cool.
yeah,
My other question is kind of maybe more on like the business side and maybe even more like on the game dev side.
sure.
Like what does your team look like for building out this product?
I've got a full time team of four. I've got that I have not known anything about game development. I didn't really even know how to create my own um, job description. So I reached out to university. So I saw that Full Sail University in Florida had a pretty kind of hit the ground running game development program. It was out a little farther along than just like a game designer programming program. It was specific for game development. And so I reached out there first. I partnered with one of their um, office people, and they helped me write a game description sent out to their alumni. So I hired a guy that had some industry experience that was working for a company called LSI in Florida, and moved him here, relocated him, and then I hired a guy, Simon, from Illinois. Kaylin came to work from us next. She's my artist, actually, that does our 3D art. She moved here from Pennsylvania, and then Cam is our last hire. We met him at the GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference in San
Okay.
Francisco this year, and he was from Denver, and so we hired him and moved him here full time. So I've got 4 full time employees. We're all housing out of the offices over at the gym building, and then I've got 5 really good interns from TU that's been working with me over the summertime. So it's been great, and those kids have really been sharp too. So
Wow.
I've got 9. We have 9 over there right now working, and we'll have the interns I think till mid August. So
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, not to sell you on in Tulsa, but we can definitely help you with your hires for
okay,
the next time you're interested. We actually had a couple placements at the game studio that's going to be our office neighbors at Aero. So that
hmm
it's a really cool place that whenever that place launches, I'm going to have them on the podcast here to kind of talk about what's going on
sure,
there. But we've helped with hiring a game developer too. So just throwing that out there for you in the
yeah,
future.
yeah. It's we're excited, and I'm excited about just the tech industry as a whole for Tulsa.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot of potential for growth. And the game industry and the movie industry, a lot of the technology with like Unreal Engine and things like that are getting so closely linked together that I think it's really going to be a good spot for dev studios here. because the movie industry market here has really grown a lot too. They're filming more and more from here, and
Yeah.
so we're excited to play in it. The game is our first thing we're working on. We'll also come back with a second version of that, but we're also going to do other things. After this game, we'll probably just split the team up and expand into different departments, and we're going to do a lot of more like SimViz, educational type stuff for hopefully some of the businesses around town, and then a lot of AR VR. We're going to charge to build out Horizon world spaces for people to be able to have the Horizon worlds to represent their business and to have meeting spaces and things like that inside the
Wow.
Oculus headset platform.
That
So,
is so cool. I've only had one VR experience, and it was just recently at the Holberton School
mhm.
during a demo day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why? I either need to get the Oculus, or I've seen a lot of gameplays on YouTube and stuff about the Vive
Mhm.
too. Just kind of like there are a couple players and name brands out there, but I don't necessarily know the comparison of them too. And I didn't get dizzy, which was great. That's what some people's like main concern about VR is, like your what your actual body is doing in response to the
Sure.
technology and things like that. So, I mean, I'm just it sounds really awesome. I'm so excited for this game and kind of the direction that you're going and everything. So this is super cool. And it sounds like you also have a really great vision for how you're going to grow and how you're going to expand and keep going and revisiting. So this is all exciting to
Yeah,
me.
no, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I feel really confident in the team we have. I got a great group of people, and I hope we're just getting started. So, but it's tough, but it's this industry still at its infancy, so it's going to continue to grow in many aspects. We're with this. I'm kind of fortunate because I can hit three different areas at once. So esports is getting bigger and bigger all the time. It's a
Hmm.
huge market. The gaming, of course, has already been a big market, but it's growing every year exponentially inside the VR headset beyond the traditional
Hmm.
console games. And then, for fitness, some of the main platforms inside the headsets right now are fitness platforms.
Yeah.
So we've got a product that can kind of play in all those markets, and so I'm excited to get it rolled out and kind of see what the take is on it, and get feedback and improve it as we go forward. So
No, that's really awesome. What are some ways that anybody interested in what you're talking about could get involved? Are you guys crowdfunding? Is there interest that you're kind of gauging through gym membership, or like is there any? Do you guys need any more help? I'm not offering me, but
sure.
other
Um,
people.
yeah, well, there's ways people could get involved. We're still looking for, like in-game type. If anybody wants to have their business involved, they're sponsored in-game type advertising and sponsors. So, of course, we're looking at boxing equipment companies and things like that first because we can place their product placements inside of there.
Yeah.
But there's also, many other things that we can do that's inside the game platform that if people want to help them monetarily, that's a way to go. From just getting people, if they're just wanting to see the space. I mean, I'm open to let anybody come over and take a look at what we're doing anytime. So I'm just excited to show it off just as the business owner.
Yeah.
So they're always welcome to do that. We are going to do something at some point. I want to get a few people that we maybe offer like some free gym memberships too, and they come in first and start training in the headsets. That way I can get some data.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can bring somebody that's never boxed before and put them in the headset and teach them how to hit the speed bag and the double end bag and use all the equipment, and then send them down to the real floor after like a month and see how it translates.
Oh,
So,
that's so cool.
I've got some fun things like that if we could get a few people involved in that would be kind of cool. Um, but yeah, anytime people want to come and see the gym space, it's great. They don't have to get hit if they want to come in and try their fitness classes too.
What if
So
they want to get hit?
if they want to get hit, we can accommodate that as well. So, we have a full competition team. Of course, you have to make that and try out for a long time. So I probably have 15 to 20, competitive boxers in the gym right now. But membership wise is, mostly made up of people that just want to come in and get in shape.
Yeah. No, Aaron, this has been a great conversation just because I mean, I really think that my genuine and general interest in this just kind of comes from, Tulsa not really having this kind of presence in terms of, like you said, the gaming industry and also kind of this like the innovative space of VR and augmented reality are spaces that we can play in.
Sure.
There's so many assets being built around the city that I'm hoping are going to just continue to complement each other and build this ecosystem that so many things can thrive in as well. And so it sounds like you're one of those people kind of paving the way too. So this is awesome.
Well, I think we're definitely getting to a lot of areas of, critical mass to where, it kind of gets over the hump. But I've been fortunate to have a lot of people around me that's offered support too. I mean, my
Yeah.
fiance, I've got Julie inside the gym that does a lot of my marketing and materials for me, and she's helped me forever, even before I had enough money. So it's and then the clientele has just been great inside the gym, and I've got good guys that work for me for the boxers. So when you have a lot of people supporting your program and they believe in what you're doing, then it's a big help, and just many things that I couldn't have done without that kind of support. So it's just good to surround yourself with good people, and that's one of the biggest things I think in business. And if you do that, then the community will support you, and you get a lot of more people. I always tell everybody there's been talent in Oklahoma in every aspect, regardless of where it's at. There's just always in some area lack the people to lead that talent. So
Yeah.
people have to step up and lead that talent, and if they will, I think about any industry can grow here.
Yeah, no, I think that's so true. I've been having a couple conversations just more recently with some friends about like taking advantage of resources sometimes too. It's sometimes difficult to know what resources are out there and how to even get involved. And so that's really something that this podcast was kind of generated from too. Is like just getting at least putting a voice to a face, or creating some type of conversation around
Sure.
what's going on in something that you might be interested in. And so, I mean, you're checking a lot of boxes for me. I love gaming. I love
Yeah.
I love getting active in kind of the fitness space too. And I think that this is a space that I want to see grow in the city. And so you might have a taker over here in this other chair and
Awesome. Yeah.
microphone.
We'll put you in there. So
Yeah. So and I hope that we can also continue to kind of like you mentioned about that community and business piece too, just connect you to other people in the space that we know of that might be able to help out with either the hiring, the talent piece, or kind of the business process piece that we want to help people get supported in their businesses and all of those things. And so I'm courting you, so hopefully that's
Okay.
that's enticing.
no, I will take you up on some of those offers. So
Awesome, Aaron. Thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. Is there anything else you kind of want to add on about what's going on over at the engine room, or just anything else that you want to mention?
No, I would just encourage people again. One of the other big things that we have coming up is that tournament in August, and that's going to go to Pennsylvania next year. I'm confident we'll bring it back here again in the future. Last year was the first time it was here, so if people want to learn a little bit about amateur boxing and see the great sportsmanship that goes on with that sport, that's a time they need to come out and do it. It's 6 days. It runs from the 15th to the 20th. 5 days of competition. They'll be in town 6 days with the weigh-ins, and so I would definitely encourage people to come out and see that and find out.
What's all about?
It's a sport that's underfunded. It's a great sport for individual sport, and that's those kids need that kind of support to. They spend a lot of time in the gym and train hard and work out and hone their craft, and there's not a lot of people to show that off in front of, especially when they're traveling and not in their hometown. So,
Yeah.
I encourage people to come out and see that because it's a really cool event that will be here in Tulsa in August. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron, for being on this episode of Grow With Us. For our listeners of Grow With Us, I'd like to plug a few resources that might be helpful for you. If you would like to stay in touch with all of our featured jobs and opportunities at InTulsa, then please join our talent network. You can join at talent.intulsa.com. That's talent.intulsa.com. By joining our talent network, you will get access to our newsletter where you can stay up to date with our latest career advice, featured opportunities with InTulsa partner companies, and our placement success stories. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to be notified when more episodes of Grow With Us are released. Let us know what you think about how we're doing by rating and reviewing. Huge thank you to our editors at Rant9 Production and Jesse Ulrich. This has been Grow With Us.